Hey everyone, me Kevin here with a complete stimulus update. I want to quickly appeal to you for help though. There are endless scammers impersonating me in the comments section. I ban dozens of these every single day, but there are hundreds of these people who just make new accounts, take my logo, and they do this. This is on Twitter. You can read this on Twitter. I've been complaining at YouTube for days at RealMeKevin, and I'm appealing, please, YouTube. Stop letting people comment on my channel impersonating my name. It's not that hard. But what I want to do for you is just remind you, if you see someone in the comments saying, reach out to me on WhatsApp, I'll send you more Bitcoin than the money that you send me. Like if you send me $500, I'll send you $10,000. It's a scam. Don't do it. It's a total scam. And I'm so sorry for anybody who's fallen victim to this kind of crap. It is so devastating to see people preying on others in the comment section. Again, I'll keep doing my best to ban people. If you see it, maybe reply to those comments and go, scam, don't do it. It's unfortunate because even if I ban people, people still get the comment notifications. It's horrible. Anyway, for now, let's talk about stimulus. All right. First, Biden is warming up to the idea of sending $1,400 stimulus checks to individuals making up to $50,000, heads of households making up to $75,000, and couples making up to $100,000. Obviously, couples would get $2,800 combined, 14 times 2. Now, this is something so far, these thresholds, that Joe Manchin, a very key Democratic vote, agrees with. Now, if you earn slightly above these amounts, we're not exactly sure yet how much you're going to get, but we do know that there will be some form of a phase out. The old phase outs used to be for every $100 you made more, you would lose $500 in stimulus checks. We're not sure if we're going to see that same phase out come back. It's likely, or it could be as high as losing $10 per $100 you make more. We'll see. So far, these new guidelines, if they follow the old phase outs, mean that 71% of Americans are going to get a full stimulus check and 17% of Americans will get a partial benefit, meaning in total, 88% of Americans will get something. Children will also qualify for the full $1,400 and adult dependents would qualify for the $1,400 as well. But there so far is zero talk about retroactive stimulus, that is making the $600 from the last round potentially also apply to adult dependents. On Friday morning, the Senate passed a budget resolution after a vote-a-rama that ended at 5:30 in the morning, approximately, where Kamala Harris cast her first tiebreaker vote. The votes were 51-50. The House passed the budget resolution, the same thing, yesterday by a vote of 219-209, and according to Punchbowl, a Democrat named Jared Golden in the House actually voted against the bill because he wanted to side with the Problem Solvers Caucus, who wanted a standalone vaccine bill. Standalone bills don't seem to go far in Congress. But anyway, this resolution means that Congress can now begin the process of writing the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill. So if you see anything about stimulus bill passed, $1.9 trillion bill passed, the answer is no. We're actually not even really close yet. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi believes that we might have the bill ready in 2 weeks, but in another conversation, she said maybe it'll be a few weeks. So I don't know. Does that mean 4? Does it mean 5? Or does it mean 2 or 3? I suppose time will tell. Right now, the negotiation process begins, and it also starts the process of 25 committees getting together, or individually getting together, to work on writing each portion of their own bill. Think of this kind of like doing a class project, except it goes kind of like this. Okay, kids, as we get ready for recess, we're all going to break into groups. Our job is to come up with a 5,000-page bill. So since there are 435 of us in the second grade, I want everyone to write up about 11 to 12 pages. If you need help, go talk to people in the lobby for suggestions on what to fill into your bill as filler, aka lobbyists, and report back to me before recess. Oh, and if you end up needing more time because you couldn't get your 12 pages done on time, don't worry, we'll just go on recess. Don't tell anyone, but we'll just plan on going on recess anyway, and we'll just finish up when we get back. Yeah, we got some deadlines, but you know what? Nothing we haven't blown past before. This is all just busy work anyway. We should be having real meetings about how lame it is that we have to walk through metal detectors to go do our job. So yeah, that a little bit obviously is maybe extremely personified here, but it kind of feels like how these big 5,000 1,000-page bills come together, and that is the process that begins now over the next couple weeks. So we'll expect to see some, talk about how these committees are drafting together their portions of this big bill. Remember, they basically take all of these, maybe 10, 20, 30, 40 different bills that were all written in part by different individuals, and they kind of just sew them all together, and then they call it one big bill. Like, no one person is actually sitting there writing a 5,000-page bill. But we also have this thing that I want to touch on about minimum wage. And I hate to say it, the minimum wage portion was pretty much included in the $1.9 trillion stimulus package as, in my opinion, a negotiation ploy. I think Biden included the $10 minimum wage to basically plan on negotiating it out if he was able to get 10 Republicans to say, hey, look, we're on board with your 1.9 trill, but the minimum wage has to go. I think Biden was pretty much ready to roll on that. Now, I never really expected him to get this done in this package anyway, so I was surprised when it came out. I thought he would put it in the infrastructure bill, but it showed up over here. But the fact that, Biden came out in an interview and basically threw in the towel saying basically the minimum wage isn't going to happen, he kind of foreshadowed that Congress would just throw in the towel on this and, all right, we'll just go pass this stimulus package by a 51-vote simple majority in Congress through the budget reconciliation process in the Senate, and forget about the minimum wage for now. We'll circle back to that. We didn't get any Republicans anyway. Oh well. Now, someone did leave a comment, and I do read the comments, especially when I'm trying to ban those darn scammers. Anyway, somebody did leave a comment yesterday saying that, no, it wasn't Biden who threw in the towel. It was the Senate who amended it out. All right, so this takes a little bit of explaining, but it's really good to know. So here's the thing. In Biden's interview, he doesn't talk about the amendment process. He says he doesn't think he can get the minimum wage through reconciliation, that he thinks the minimum wage is something he'll have to fight for later. Okay, keep that in mind. Part 2, the amendment process. Honestly, it's kind of meaningless because whoever's in power can just re-amend whatever was amended in. So, here's an example. Politico mentioned that some amendments were passed by Republicans, like this, having support for the Keystone XL pipeline, and an amendment to stop federal agencies from banning things like fracking on federal lands. Well, both of those things are things that Biden is ending. Like, he's going to ban those things anyway. And so, guess what happened? Democrats just literally reversed those amendments. So, if Democrats can just can the amendments, the whole amendment process is a big joke. It doesn't matter. Whoever's in power has control to just re-amend and pass their budget resolution the way they want. The problem is, without Biden pushing for the minimum wage because he doesn't think it'll get through the parliamentarians, Democrats won't even bother trying to amend it in. So yeah, there's a little bit of finger pointing that Biden deserves on the minimum wage portion. And this isn't to try to bag on Democrats or obviously Republicans, I'm just telling it like it is. Now, on timing, when the $600 checks went out, it took about 3 weeks for us to see the checks go out, to start going out. Now, some of us are still getting checks, and it's been like 5 to 6 weeks now since the bill has passed. Well, when this next bill passes, which will probably be in late March, maybe we'll start seeing those checks early April, we're going to also be in the midst of a crazy tax filing season. The IRS was inundated last year, despite them getting more time thanks to, our government delaying the tax filing deadline by about 3 months. Now we don't have that kind of delay, and we're going to get stimulus checks that need to go out at the same time as these new tax returns get filed. It's going to be a mess. So we also still don't know yet whether or not the IRS is going to look at our 2019 or our 2020 income, which is leaving a lot of people waiting on their tax returns. Like, what do we do? Do we wait? Do we not? Do we file? It's a disaster, as is usual with the government. And this is exactly why I always recommend that you get your life insurance in as little as 5 minutes. You don't have to talk to anybody. You could Apple Pay or Android Pay for it. It's really great. Use the link down below or go to metkevin.com/life. Well, now let's quickly touch on the child tax credit. So remember, Joe Biden wants to provide $3,000 for children under 17 and $3,600 for children under 6. Romney wants to revise this up and actually provide up to $350 per month for children under 6, which is more than the Biden plan, but it makes us wonder, okay, is there a possibility that Romney is going to join with Biden on the $1.9 trillion stimulus package? And is it possible that 9 other Republicans will join Romney? Maybe get some Romney Republicans. stimulus. And it's very interesting coming from a Republican because the Romney Plan almost sounds a little bit like a style of universal basic income. $350 per month for kids under 6 and $250 per month for kids under 17. Now, Romney does also cut from welfare, daycare tax credits, and eliminates the $10,000 SALT tax deduction totally to help pay for his plan. But Romney's plan does something that's really interesting. He actually reduces a lot of pay that goes into welfare plans and changes it into this child tax credit. And what's fascinating about that, and some people are going to like this, some people are going to hate this, well, what's fascinating about this is welfare is sometimes considered a way of disincentivizing work. And that's because once you get a job, some welfare payments stop. Romney's plan actually continues. Even if you make much more money, you're still going to get that monthly support for the amount of children that you have. So it wouldn't be shocking for me to see Biden and Romney talk in the coming days, but the reality is Biden doesn't need Romney to pass the $3,000 child tax credit, which would be up from $2,000, and the $3,600 tax credit, which is also up from $2,000 from the Trump administration. That was an Ivanka move. Biden doesn't really need Romney, and Biden doesn't really need those restrictions. So maybe Biden will talk to Romney. If not, Biden might just stack his benefits on top of the existing welfare programs, that already exist without cutting the $10,000 SALT tax deduction or the child care tax credits as well. So we'll see. The latest push, though, for stimulus is absolutely motivated by jobs data coming in much more painfully than expected. And just on a side note, yesterday, while I was streaming the closing bell in markets, Lou Dobbs apparently got canceled. This comes just one day after Dominion Voting Systems filed a lawsuit, not just against Fox News, but also against Lou Dobbs. Anyway, that's the update for now. Thank you so very much for watching. If you found it helpful, consider sharing the video. And folks, we'll see you in the next one.